us. I think it depends on what you consider art. Because when you think about it, everything is art, right? Everything, barring plants and animals and nature, it's all extensions of ourselves to make ourselves more comfortable. I mean, think about everything we create, all the buildings, all... And then there's, there's the easy stuff. There's just, there's books and art and movies and stuff that's, that's all just extensions of the mind. That's all just things we want to share with other people, our own expression. I think it's interesting to think about,
Safan was born in 2005, 3 months before me. His parents don't vote, and he's never been vaccinated. He was raised to never trust the government, and he doesn't, most of the time. He reads Shakespeare and listens to Fleetwood Mac. He's never had enough patience to make it through an entire film, so he never sees the end. He likes chess and contemplating existential boredom that comes with living. He taught himself to play the piano when he was 12. He's never been very good, but he's not all bad.
Do you mind if I sit here?
Sure.
I drew you. I hope you don't mind.
You're good?
I'm Onama.
I'm Vincent. My friend Safan asked me this question the other day on whether I think art influences society or society influences art. What do you think?
I read this thing once. There's no such thing as art, there are only artists. I guess if you look at it that way, maybe instead of art influencing us, it's artists. Maybe everything is just people influencing other people.
So you think art influences society?
I guess so. I'd like to think my art has some sort of influence over other people, but I don't know. Maybe not.
You know, Valentine, people spend so much time wrapped up in politics and things like climate change and all that. If only they stood back and just saw the world the way it is.
Well, you're not the one that has to deal with it for the rest of your life.
You have a lot of anger, Valentine, and I think it's poisoning you.
Why shouldn't I be angry? I have every reason to be angry. The government is making careless decisions that are killing the world I have to spend the rest of my life living in. And I have no choice but to sit by and watch. You get to enjoy it go up in flames and leave as soon as it starts getting really bad.
I get it. I was once like you. I was mad at politicians. I was mad at my parents. I was mad about the war. And it poisoned me as time went on. I just forgot who I was.
War and climate change have nothing in common.
Well, I think they do actually.
My father's name is Claude. He was born in the year of 1950. My grandparents were religious Catholics, and he still goes to church every Sunday, but he doesn't believe in God. When he was 17, he was conscripted into the Vietnam War. He never made it due to the change in government. He's voted for Labour in every election since, and never trusted another Liberal government. He drinks white wine. He likes blues music and Wilbur Smith. He writes poetry. He doesn't write it very often, but when he does, it helps him sort out his thoughts. He's never let me read any of it.
This is what he discovered. Everything in existence is a manifestation of the one living being we call God. Everything is God. And he came to the conclusion that human perception is merely light perceiving light. I think it means that everything's just a reinvention of everything. Like art doesn't influence people or the other way around because they're the same thing.
Do you believe in God?
No,
Why not?
because if there was a God, everything would be perfect, which it's not.
It's not that bad.
It's so stupid. Like, everyone thinks it's the greatest romance of all time. It was never romantic. Juliet was a rebound and Romeo was a distraction. They weren't in love. They only knew each other for a day.
It's Shakespeare.
It's bad writing.
It's Shakespeare!
And?
Shakespeare was the bard, the poet, one of the greatest writers ever. Why do you think you still study him today?
My little sister is 14. She was named after a French poet. She was introduced to feminism initially through Emma Watson during her Harry Potter phase when she was 8, but she didn't really start getting into it until the midst of the pandemic. Now she drags my dad and I along to rallies every month in the city. Her favourite books are by John Green. Her favourite songs are by Taylor Swift. My dad gave her this old camera for Christmas a couple years back. She's taken it pretty much everywhere with her since. She only shoots on film. She says it makes everything look more like a memory than a photo, which she likes. Which do you think influences you?
I'd like to think that I'm equally influenced by both, but I think at a certain point we decide what's right and what's wrong, and we live the rest of our lives like that. I remember when I was 10, when I first learned about climate change at school. I think that was when I realised that adults don't actually know everything. Back then, I wanted to be the Prime Minister so I could save everybody and fix everything myself because nobody else seemed to be doing it. I think a part of me still feels that way, but all I can do is paint.
Mona Ma was born in 2006. Her parents are radical communists. She started painting when she was 3, mostly finger paintings and stuff. But for a 3-year-old, she was exceptional. When she was 7, her dad introduced her to the Surrealists. That's when she really started to take her art seriously. Her favourite was Frida Kahlo. She discovered feminism when she was 9 and came out as a lesbian when she was 10. When she was 11, she learned to incorporate it into her art, and when she was 12, she entered her first art show. Mona Ma paints the world as she sees it, and she hates everything she paints.